Would you guys support this being flown at the White House and government buildings and embassies around the world?
Absolutely. I think it's a duty to include everyone.
It should be.
Would you support embassies in the White House flying a Christian pride flag or the Vatican flag, perchance?
Organized religions has had a tendency to leave people out.
Would you support this being flown on the White House?
Yeah. I don't really care.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think that we should have the Vatican flag or like Christian nationalist symbols up on the White House next. Good?
But I'm not religious, personally.
Oh, okay. Are you gay?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you part of any of these?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
I just support people.
Okay. You support Christians?
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever been pushed in my face.
I've never
feel
felt
like,
overwhelmed by
no,
anything.
No.
Do you think that maybe the white Christians, Republicans might feel?
Oh, yeah, they definitely feel like that. But if anything, it's like they're pushing their stuff in my face.
Do you think Christianity is not inclusive?
I think sometimes it's not.
Do you think this is inclusive of everyone?
I think it's a pretty good representation, yes.
It's June, so you know what month it is. It's the month of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and literally nothing else. But some people think it's Pride Month. So we're here to get their opinions on this flag, how corporations are taking their money back from these parades, and if it seems a little fair or unfair. Let's go see what people think. Wow, those are some beautiful flags. I noticed one that's not up there here in the state of Florida though. So first of all, are you guys part of the LGBTQ community at all or just allies?
Allies.
Just allies.
Just allies. Okay. So, do you know what this flag is?
Like yes and no. Like I know it's a symbol of the LGBTQ plus community and like each color represents a piece of the acronym.
What acronym?
The like LGBTQ plus, like lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer, intersex, trans.
Right.
But maybe there's more. There's probably way more to it. That's just what I know.
I have no idea.
No?
Orange, yellow, green,
One of
blue, and
them
purple.
means probably gay. The other one means bisexual, lesbian. I don't fucking.
What's the other ones? Queer?
I want you to name every single gender.
That's two.
There's two.
Female.
Male and female.
You said that during Pride Month? You're in Florida, you're safe. We
This
can
is
say
just
that.
my interview.
So I walked out, I said, "Hi friends, you know what month it is?" And they're like, "How'd you know?" And I was like, "No what?" And they're like, "I'm gay." I didn't know. You were just next on the list of people to come to. So you came up and prefaced that. Why would you say I'm super liberal, but like, why do you want to preface that?
Because I don't want people to think that I'm like
You're like a conservative.
against it. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause that would be horrible if people thought you were like a conservative, right? Or
well,
something.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah, those pesky conservatives, right, guys? Okay, all right. So, first off, what is this flag?
I don't know all the sorry. Let me think of how to word it. I really wish I had a friend up here.
Okay, is someone coming to help?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, all of these sexualities that are not straight, cisgender.
Okay, wait.
You know.
What are we looking for?
So I want what this flag is called first. What is the what do they call this?
Flag, I
Yeah,
would
it's the
say.
pride flag.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Nope. It's more inclusive than that.
Okay.
Oh God.
I don't know then.
Speaking of Pride Month, did you know my merch shop has a Pride Month collection? You can get your straight pride, MAGA pride, or American pride merch right here. It's the best merch. Everybody knows it. You know it. I know it. LHmerch.com. Thank you guys. What is this flag?
It's the flag of all of the sexualities.
Okay. What is its name?
Not sure.
Okay. Would you support this being flown at the White House or other city halls?
Yes.
Yeah. Why would you support that?
Because I think everybody should be able to express love in themselves in the way that they feel is right.
Okay. All right. Do you know what the circle means?
I don't.
Okay. What does the color orange mean?
I don't know.
What about black? So you know nothing about this flag?
No!
Would you want it flown on our government buildings?
This is the pride flag.
Nope.
Nope.
What's the circle mean?
I have no idea.
What's the white mean?
I was assuming white people.
You think they would put white people in this?
Right, because white people do not get any sort of protections. So no, probably not.
No, that's the brown and the black. They put brown and black people in there.
Right.
Yeah. No, the white does not represent white people. I don't see them including that anytime
White
soon.
people do deserve some sort of protections, I guess, if everybody else deserves protections.
You'd think so, maybe, right?
I think if we get rid of all the protections, then everybody's equally represented. How about that?
Yeah, no one gets special treatment.
There we go. I like that
all
idea.
right. On that note, do you think we should fly this at the White House?
No.
No.
It seems politically motivated. I don't think we should fly any politically motivated flags at the White House.
Yeah. What is the name of this flag?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is
So
it
let's
just a
start-
pride flag? I don't know.
It's the Intersex Progress Pride flag. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay. So a lot of city governments and corporations will display this flag above their buildings or on their social media. Do you support that? Do you think they should do that?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Okay. What does this mean? Like, what does the flag mean?
Just for rights for everybody to be able to express their love for each other and,
Would you guys support this being flown at the White House and government buildings and embassies around the world?
Absolutely. I think it's a duty to
should
include
be.
everyone.
It should be.
Yeah.
Why should it be flown?
Because we all need to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just what we think is our typical norm.
Right.
It's everyone, every walk of life needs to feel like they have a place.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what the United States stands for.
Yes. Would you support embassies in the White House flying a Christian pride flag or the Vatican flag, perchance?
I think that organized religions has had a tendency to leave people out. And until we can for sure have an organization that is inclusive and includes everyone like the pride flag represents, I think that's important before that gets flown.
Okay. So no Christian flag. No.
I believe that everyone has the right to believe in any kind of Christianity or non-Christianity group.
Yeah.
But I believe that it has to be inclusive of everyone. And if it's not,
You think Christianity is not inclusive?
I think sometimes it's not.
Do you think this is inclusive of everyone?
I think it's a pretty good representation, yes.
Okay. This is the Intersex Progress Pride flag. Have you ever heard of it?
Nope.
Okay. Well, now that you know about it, would you support this being flown on the White House?
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be around anyway, so I might as well support it.
Yeah.
I think America's a melting pot. Everyone needs to be accepted.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Melting pot.
So I have a petition. I think that we should have the Vatican flag or like Christian nationalist symbols up on the White House next. Good?
But I'm not religious personally.
Okay. Are you gay?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you part of any of these?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
I just support people.
Okay. You support Christians?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can have Christian nationalism symbols up on the White House too, right?
All I know is that, in the Constitution, the government can't establish a government religion. So I don't know.
It's just supporting.
Yeah. No, yeah, happy f*** it.
Yeah, there we go. What do you think? Is that cool?
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. I mean, we have trust in God in all classrooms and stuff like that too. So, I mean,
It's in our pledge, right? One nation under God. And our money. What do you guys think about corporations and government buildings and the city officials flying this flag during Pride Month?
I don't have a problem with it. I learned about it at work.
Okay, what did you learn about it at work?
Just how to talk to people and respect everybody's views.
How would you talk to a gay man?
Kind of like we're talking with you.
Yeah, I treat everybody the same way.
Good. So when you talk to me, you wouldn't, you're like, oh, this is the same thing as talking to a gay man.
I feel like I'm being baited here. What's going on? I don't think you're a gay man. I just, I'm just saying. We talk to people. That people are people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, they are people. All right.
I don't care how you identify. Whatever you want to do, do what you want to do, man.
Absolutely, it does not affect anybody.
Absolutely not.
Are you okay with your city hall or the White House or any government entity that your taxpayer dollars go to flying this flag for the month of June?
Am I against it?
Do you support it? Do you want them to fly it?
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
I don't think it's a governmental
thing
Okay.
for me.
All right. Why isn't it necessary?
I just feel that that's a personal thing and that's great, and I don't see why it's being displayed on our Capitol building.
Can you tell me what the colors mean?
I believe the yellow flag with the purple circles for intersex individuals, the white, pink, and blue is for transgender, and then I believe the brown and black is to celebrate all different races.
You're the first one to get anything right about this. Even the title of it. Okay, how'd you know so much about this and no one else does?
I keep I'm like a resident assistant at a university, so I pride myself on being informed of everything and having an understanding and awareness, so I can provide the best for my residents.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Do you have this outside of your dorm room?
I do not.
Would you be willing to put it up?
I mean, if one of my residents asked, hey, can I put this on my door? I personally am not a part of the community, so I wouldn't put it up because I don't want to accidentally send the wrong signals to anyone.
Okay.
But if I was, I'd be willing to.
Do you think city halls and just government facilities should fly this outside of their buildings?
If they want to, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's good to show support for the community. Yeah, I know that it's a very opinionated, shouldn't be, but it is, especially I think it's getting worse.
So anyway, we're talking about this today because have you heard of all the corporations that are pulling their funding from Pride Parade?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you guys think of that?
So we actually go to Kent, and I just saw the Instagram post.
State.
Yes, Kent
You go
State
to
University.
You go to Kent State University.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, do you know about that gun girl?
What?
You do know about her?
know what? The gun girl.
The gun girl. You guys all go to Kent State?
Not me.
No? But you guys, have you ever heard of the Kent State gun girl?
No.
No.
What's her name?
But they have. Yeah, what is her name?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I
Yeah.
just have seen the pictures.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Is that crazy?
It is a bit crazy.
It's obnoxious.
Obnoxious, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can be pretty obnoxious, right?
Yeah.
Just a little scary, with Kent State's history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, super scary. So, okay, you'll have to look up the history of the Kent State gun girl there.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so New York City Pride, they are down $750,000 because corporations are pulling their funding.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And so, what do you think that means? Why are corporations doing this to the Pride Parades?
I think it's our president has a lot to do with it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Fair. And how do you think Trump might have something to do with it?
I think that I think he's very set in his beliefs, and everyone that's not like him, he has issues with.
Right, there's no room for there's no wiggle room. It's all just this, and that, and that's how we're sticking with it.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's not inclusive. Exactly. It's not right.
It's very straight, white, Christian, male community, and I think anyone that's not that, he has an issue with, yes.
Yeah. Have you heard about the corporations that are pulling back their funding for Pride Parades?
Yeah, I've heard that some of them are pulling them back and they're not changing their labels and stuff. But
Why do you think that would be?
Because we are the vast majority, and they're finally starting to wake up to it. Yeah, a friend of mine just sent me something today that they're talking about how the infrastructure of the media was creating an illusion that they were the majority, and they're not.
Yeah.
And they haven't been for a very long time.
Have you heard about all of the Pride Parades in major cities like Columbus, Ohio, New York City, and San Francisco? Their budget and their sponsorships are being pulled by corporations. What do you think about that?
I think it's sad. I think we had so much sponsors going forward, and now with new administration, I feel like true colors are showing. If you don't have to, if you know what I'm trying to say,
I feel that if they feel like they don't have to financially support or back something that's going to help make progress for the sake of, and it's not just for the sake of progress, it's progress, right? We don't want to go backwards, and I feel like right now people are feeling like they maybe don't need to do that right now with the current administration.
Why do you think this administration would embolden people to feel like they could take a step back from funding Pride Parades?
I mean, I think the president said it best when he basically said that we were getting rid of all of the funding for anything that was diversified.
Okay.
So we got rid of all the diversified. We defunded how many federal fundings of that. So I think that people feel like they're trying to respond to something that everyone feels is, marginalized already, and then they just feel like they don't have a choice.
Let's not separate ourselves with flags either. Let's fly the American flag at the White House, and let's surrender. Let's fly the white flag. Let's surrender our pride, and just be one of Christ's team.
Absolutely.
Because he forgave all sin, so he forgave everybody for everything. That we're all equal. We're all equal. That's how it is.
Do you think that corporations should be donating to pride parades, or do you think it's fair to say we're in a political position now where it's not so popular? What do you think?
I think it's hard to put a yes or no to that, because it's almost like I feel like I'm on the spectrum where it shouldn't even be a question of having this debate. Of course we need it to get to where we want to be, but it's just difficult, because to me I'm well, we shouldn't. It's hard to even say I don't know. Does that kind of make sense?
No. Oh, okay. Do you have any criticisms of pride parades or Pride Month specifically?
I don't know.
No. Is there anything weird going on at pride parades these days, or everything's chill? Totally family friendly.
I've never been to one.
I have never been to one. So
have you ever seen any of them online?
I have not.
Do you think there's any fair criticisms that perhaps through the past decade there have been kind of pride parades are too in your face? The corporations are pushing it too much. Are there any fair?
No, I don't think it's ever been pushed in my face.
I've never felt overwhelmed by anything.
No.
Do you think that maybe the white Christians, Republicans might feel?
Oh yeah, they definitely feel like that. But if anything, it's they're pushing their stuff in my face.
How so?
It's just constantly preaching you the same things, constantly telling you the same things, and it's can you you don't have any wiggle room for what I want to say.
Right.
You don't have any you don't have anything in you to listen to what I have to say, any different opinions, anything like that. It's always the same thing. If it's not that, then it's wrong.
Do you think there's any criticisms to pride parades that they might be too provocative or too in your face in the last decade or so?
I don't think so. I don't think they're too in your face. Either you go or you don't,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I ask because there have been a lot of cities, their pride organizations are having a lot of trouble funding because corporations are pulling their sponsorships. New York City Pride is down almost $1 million in sponsorship money. What do you think that could mean? Why would they be pulling their support?
Maybe because everybody's not for it or in support of it.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Why do you think they might not be? Apple. Apple pulled their support. They're done. Target is not publicly donating. They're privately, and they took their Pride stuff out of their stores. Do you think that's the right way to approach Pride Month?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think maybe the backlash that they receive as big corporations, that they don't want the money that they are getting to go down for it. But I'm in support of it. So.
Do you think anything has to do with Trump? You think maybe a Trump effect is?
Probably.
I think corporations owe their stockholders.
Yeah.
That's in profit and taking care of their workers and giving them raises, not special interest groups. Not against animals, not against humans, not against guns, anything. I just feel that these are things that businesses. I own a business, and I don't feel I should have to pay for somebody's preferences or non-preferences or special qualities or special mental abilities or not. You know what I mean? Physical issue, anything. I don't feel that that's something a business should be taking on. Okay. If they like it, we have a Chick-fil-A. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Chick-fil-A. They're very religious.
Yes.
They're closed on Sundays, and that's fine. I don't mind it, but I wouldn't want them pushing that on the kids. It shouldn't be,
Have you ever seen any questionable things at pride parades or on the internet or in person?
Not really, no.
Yeah. They're super family friendly, right?
For the most part, but I don't really see a lot of stuff on them, so I can't really speak on that.
Last question. Do you think it's a fair criticism to say that corporations and just people in general feel that this stuff has been pushed in their face for the past decade and they're starting to speak up and be against it, so corporations are following suit?
I would disagree. I mean, I think it depends on how much you look at it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, last year, if you just went into Target, the kids' clothing section was full of pride stuff and trans stuff. Do you think that's appropriate?
I do not.
No?
I mean, honestly,
Is that a little in your face for your kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people have mentioned that people might be feeling that it's way too in your face. And with Trump winning, that he won the popular vote.
Yeah.
So, this an incredible victory on his part with the popular vote, especially for a Republican. Do you think that maybe more people actually feel the same as these corporations, that they don't want to be funding this and they don't support this stuff?
I think it's easy not to be inclusive, and that's the easier option. So I do feel like a lot of people take that path and don't put, like, critical thinking, it's a skill. You have to kind of think about why everyone should be included, why history hasn't been inclusive. So I think it's just an easier path to just turn a blind eye and say, like, oh, that's too much, that's too in my face, that's too different. That's the easier path, and I think...
Well, Target, for example, last year they had their kids' clothing section filled with trans stuff, gay pride stuff, all over the kids' clothing section. Would you say that that might be a little too in your face?
I mean, not to me.
No.
Not to me either.
No. So it was like a Christian mom, or even just any mom, took their kid shopping for the new school year, and they walk up and now they're exposed to gay pride, transgenderism, ideologies that I think some people would think it should be the parents' discretion on if their kids are exposed to that at 7 or 6 or something like that. Do you think there's any
crosses on a regular basis for people that don't believe and really don't show any kind of religious or and kind behavior, and I see crosses on those people every day, and I'm exposed to that.
Yeah.
My children are exposed to crosses.
Yeah.
Right. Is that the same thing as going into Target and seeing like a pro-Christian merch section right in the kids section? Would you be against that?
I would not be against that. If they wanted to have that, they can have that. It's,
Well, is that in your face a little bit for your kids?
No.
No.
Like, I can go around it and look at something else.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if there's a section of that for someone, as long as it's not hurting anyone, right? I'm okay with that.
Do you think there's any legitimate criticisms of pride parades for why corporations would be backing down from supporting them in 2025?
I think it's the same as every situation. I mean, there's radicals on every single side. And that's the problem that people have, is they find a radical and then they try to exploit that. And, most people are pretty chill and have no qualms about any of it. You know what I mean?
What does pride mean? Like, what do pride parades, what is their point? What are they celebrating?
I saw just a post the other day, and it was like, pride exists because people today still feel like they're better off dead than being themselves. And I think that speaks waves.
It's about sexuality, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about sexuality.
Yeah.
And sex preferences.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's why people don't want their kids to be exposed to that in Target while shopping for clothes.
I don't think pride's it's about identity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Identity, like what is that identity rooted in?
How I present myself, how I...
Sexual preferences?
I wouldn't say that's all it
I don't think
is.
it's all sexual preferences. I think it's just about relationships between non-binary, binary, homosexual, heterosexual. Like, it's saying, hey, it's okay.
Sexuality.
My mom and dad might be mom and mom. That's okay.
But I don't feel that we need to be using tax dollars for it.
Okay.
Or making businesses have to hire somebody they wouldn't normally hire.
Okay, so like DEI.
Yes, I'm actually very against DEI.
Okay, as a business owner.
As a business owner, yes, because I actually I have everybody. It's a hair salon, and trust me, we have everybody.
Yes.
But I wouldn't hire them because of their preferences or their genes. I would hire them because they're the best man or woman for the job.
Okay, there are a lot of people who say that talk like that is somewhat racist or bigoted, and that we should be giving a leg up to people for their skin color. What do you say to people that are
because
saying
we have
that.
athletes and we have a black president, we have doctors, lawyers. I actually don't. I think that line of thinking makes it more racist for me.
Is there anything that you can criticize about pride parades or drag shows or Pride Month?
I've personally never been to a parade or drag show or anything, so I don't even have like a good opinion on that. I've obviously have an issue with it, but no.
Yeah.
I got nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah, really no criticism. It's just I've never been either, but I have no issues against it. It's like, do what you want to do.
Family friendly.
Yeah, exactly. Do what you think is best, you know? For sure.
All right, I have to visit your friends over here. If you could explain to these Kent State students, like, if you could explain who the Kent State gun girl is and, like, give them a round up here, what would you say to them to let them know who she is?
You know more about it.
You know more about her?
Really, it's more of just like she kind of came to our campus with these like massive guns
and took a lot of pictures.
Okay. Was she a student there?
I'm actually not sure at all.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. My sister went to
alumni.
Okay.
But her whole like mission was she was a gun activist.
Okay.
And she wanted to like spread her like I guess almost market like these intense guns. But I think genuinely college campuses are not the place for that.
Yeah.
Especially in the country we live in where like gun violence in general is a very sensitive topic, especially gun violence on campuses.
Campus.
Yeah.
With all the recent like honestly like college attacks.
Yeah.
It was kind of just very unnerving.
Kaitlin Bennett. Oh my gosh, that's my name.
Are you serious?
That's my name. My name is Kaitlin Bennett. Oh my goodness, we have the same name. We went to the same school.
I was gonna say you did look like her.
I am her. Yeah, I am her. And just to respond to you, I graduated. That was the day of my graduation, and Kent State does not allow students to conceal carry a firearm, but they allow outsiders and visitors to the campus to open carry. So I thought that was unfair that as a woman on a college campus, which can be a very scary place for a woman, especially walking around at night, I should have been allowed to carry a firearm concealed in my waistband.
You need an AR-15 though.
No, you can't conceal an AR-15 in your waistband.
Well, I know that, but
Yeah, so the point was that the day I graduated, I could have a big AR-10 on that campus, but the day before I couldn't protect myself with a little Glock in my waistband. So that was the point of that protest. I'm sorry that you found it obnoxious though, but I do think that we should be allowed to have AR-15s anywhere we want as well. So yeah, all right. Well, thank you for that rundown about me and who I am. I appreciate it. You guys have a good day and happy Pride Month.